Hello and welcome back. My name is Kieron Seamons. This is the Inky channel, and this week we are concentrating on a art sale, an art auction. As you know, I don't really do this very often. I don't really sell off very often, but this week we're putting together some different. There'll be art originals. There'll be some art prints, and there will even be a few signed books. If you're interested, I will be doing a signed book today just to show you what you'll be expecting over the next few days. This way. Okay, so good morning. We are going to be doing a book kind of signing, though I don't really like to say it's a signing. It's kind of I will do an illustration inside the book cover. The book today is A Ghostabulous Experience. This is my last novel, and I will do an illustration inside and I'll sign the book. We did do it last year. We did do I think we did about 3 books last time, but there was just such a demand for it, and to be honest, I was really too busy to kind of keep up with the demand of it. So this time, now that I'm doing another batch of illustrations and originals, I thought I would do a couple of books. I know that they were hugely popular last time, but to be really honest, out of the 3 books that I signed, the illustration in it I really loved. And I really found it very difficult to kind of sell them. I found it very difficult. I kind of, you shouldn't be like that if you're an artist. You shouldn't really kind of hold on to your work, but I really kind of regretted selling those books. And if I was a very rich person, I would call those 3 people that had those original books, and I would say, there you go, there's £10,000, can I have my book back? There was one of Norman from the book. Norman is playing his little ukulele. It was a lovely drawing. I really enjoyed that. And there was one of Norman with a big spider hanging down and stuff like that. So there's some really lovely and it's always nice to draw Norman. It's always nice to. So I will get back into maybe a drawing of Norman again today. I'm going to try and do a variation of books. As you saw in the opening, there's kind of a picture of like a self-portrait of me and Mr. Miro, and on some of the smaller books. But I think it's sometimes nice to see the character also from the book in the opening. And I have very few signed copies of books. But the ones that I do have are hugely treasured. I have one from Frank Thomas and Ollie Johnson from the Disney days. I've got a couple of Ralph Steadman ones. I've got one of Ronald Searle, and they are massively important to me. So I'm hoping that as time goes on, these will become just as important. Right, so I'll get in and I'll draw Norman. What would be a good thing? Maybe if Norman was reading the book, maybe. But I know that book signings are very popular, but I kind of feel like sometimes if it's an artist you want some kind of drawing in there. I kind of feel like it's a bit of a cheat if it's only a signature on it. So these will go up this week. They will go up with some art prints, and I've also got some kind of prints that were done. Also, there's a few of those. Maybe I will sign the back, because I know also that people have been asking for small drawings that can be framed and stuff like that. So I will concentrate on trying to keep you guys happy. So if there is things that you particularly want, this week will be assigned for you. It'll be assigned for doing artwork that you want to see. I know that many people have been asking for book signings and stuff like that, but it was really difficult to keep up, especially with, well, the situation was that they were originally, I was trying to do them through Etsy, and Etsy basically, well, they're vultures basically. They basically take every penny they can squeeze out of you, and I really did not have a very good experience. Although I still have my Etsy shop, they do take a massive amount of the money from you, especially if it's something that you're using their platform for, something like a book signing or something, where you've kind of bought the books, you've signed the books, and then you're reselling them. They basically take about, I don't know, about 80% of the money for it, which I just found hugely unfair for both sides, because you as the customer will pay the VAT on it, and you'll pay taxes on it. You'll also pay the extra shipping through their company. So in the end, you're buying something that might be £20, but with all the extra taxes and stuff like that, it works out to be, 33 pounds, which I find is just so unfair. So by doing it this way, by doing it through the eBay system, you save money, and and I win money. Obviously it's only going to be a few kind of pounds different either way, but I'm sure you'll be happier that the money goes to the artist rather than to some big corporation. It's the same way that if I try to buy some artist's artwork, I do try to buy it on something like eBay or something, especially if it's coming from the artist. It's quite beautiful. Also, when you do get these books, you might find that the back of the book, obviously the cover of the book, since it's on my desk and my desk is smothered in ink, you might find there's lots of ink all over the cover of the book. Sorry, that's a price you pay for liking such a messy artist like me. But I really did miss those couple of books that I signed and gave away. Maybe when I'm a very rich kind of artist, I'll hunt those people down and offer them money. I don't know, because it's just as much. It's just as much work to do a book signing with a drawing as it is to do a full illustration. And both of those illustrations would have looked fantastic in the book. Now he's kind of looking off to that side, which I do like the pose, but I'm thinking I should really put something over there. I will try. Um, I'll try maybe do about 10 of the books, something like that. So it gives people a little bit of a chance to choose choose what they want. Let me put the book. He's got a Worry Lips book. Of course he's got a Worry Lips book. But these will become collector's editions. There will only be a few. I've only done 3, I think, so far. So these will be quite special. I will at some point work out a way to do these kind of book signings a little bit more easy, but at the moment doing it through these companies is not something that I want. I don't really, part of the reason, Worry Lips, one of the reasons that I haven't got lots of Ronald Searle signed books and things like that is because it's so damn expensive. I've seen Ronald Searle signed books and things like that going for thousands, and I can't do that. As much as I love Ronald Searle, I can't do something like that. I can't spend thousands on a signed book. I know that kind of collectors do, so I'm hoping those collectors are out in force when when my books are being up for auction. It definitely would be nice. There you go. You'll have a double drawing of Norman. There you go. There you go. 2 drawings of Norman on one book. What more would you want? And I might even. I don't know. Should I? Well, I might put some color in some of the books, just to kind of add a little bit more kind of pizzazz to the ones. But I do prefer to see Norman in black and white. I do prefer it as a grey toned book. Well, maybe I'll do some grey tone on it, maybe. For those people who don't know who Norman is, there he is on the front cover of the book. That's him in bed there, with the ghost and with the love of his life, which is the little photo. And the book has got various illustrations through it. There you go. That's kind of a similar type of illustration that was in one of the signed books. In fact, that's a special one there. That's one of one. That was the first ever edition of it. So there's some spelling mistakes and some things in there. Maybe that would be a real collector's one. The one of one. I had to write one of one on it in case I sent the one with all the spelling mistakes and mistakes. I think there was even some changes to the cover. I think, if I remember, I changed some of the back, or the back was printed. There you go, that was one of the mistakes. There you go, his back leg is missing, you see, and it didn't come through in the print. So little differences like that. So the one of one, you'll see it on the top corner there. The one of one will be for those collectors among you. That will be a special. The later books are all perfectly okay. You kind of get like a print copy. As you're doing the books, you kind of do the book and you send it off and it comes back and then you check it, see if everything is okay and everything's beautiful. And if it is, then you go ahead and you do more books. If it isn't, then you need to call some little fixes for it, which is print mistakes like that one there with this missing leg and stuff like that. And these are what people look out for when they are doing collector's editions of. You know, you kind of get like a Star Wars book where they spelt his name wrong or something like that. And kind of collectors go crazy for these things. And once Worry Lips is made into a movie in the future, and it will, then these type of books will become hugely important. There you go. I'll put my finger in that. Look at that. That's got my DNA in it. That spot in the middle there is not. I'm not happy with that, but I'll probably erase that. I can just blot it now. Kind of makes him look like he's looking kind of boss-eyed. Done. And I will probably write some kind of silly message. Best book ever. How's that? And again, the whole reason is that each book will be different. Each book will be special. And that's the same with the when I do a kind of like a signature also. I've seen you know, like Noel Gallagher or something like that, some kind of famous person, and they're going tst, next tst, next tst. I just like I don't know. It kind of makes me feel like, why I waited 5 hours for your signature and you just go tst. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but like when I met Andy Irvine, who's there's kind of a octave mandolin player and stuff like that, Irish folk singer. He's actually playing in America at the moment, so if you're into that kind of folk singing and musicians, real talented musicians, go and see Andy Irvine. He's traveling around America at the moment, and he's incredible. And when I saw him, we had a good chat, and then he signed my book. In fact, I still have those today. They're very, very valuable in my heart. They're not valuable in the world, but in my heart, I met the man. We talked, you know, a good 5 minutes we talked, and he signed a couple of CDs for me. One of them was To My Little China, Andy Irvine. And To My Little China is kind of like To My Little Precious, you know. And at the time I was working in China, and I had travelled all the way from China to Ireland to see him play. That's how important he was, you know. And so that's you know, I wanted that same experience. I wanted people to feel like I wasn't just going right next. That it was actually me, and this is kind of something different, something special, something original, you know. I kind of really care about doing these type of things, and and I'm hoping that these books go to people, or these original paintings, these prints, these signed things, they go and they're important to the person that picks them up. That's how I would love it to be. Um, as it has been with me, I really love my signed Andy Irvine covers. I've got a few over the years. I've seen him play a few times. Um, I've seen him play 3 times. Amazing. He was in the original band Planxty. Those people that remember the Irish band Planxty, and he was one of those people. When I used to have a friend called George, and I used to go and in my younger days we would go and sit and drink wine and listen to Planxty on the old records we used to put on the records, and George used to have these huge big speakers, and we would sit and listen to all this Irish music, and it was Andy Irvine. I first heard this sound, and I was very, very, very in love with the sound, and I was like, "What is that sound?" And George told me, "That's the mandolin," and I fell in love. I deeply, madly fell in love, and I spent a long time practicing my mandolin to play like Andy Irvine. Nowhere near, nowhere near as good as Andy Irvine, but it's one of those things that it's people's passing on that passion to you, you know, and that's hope. What I'm trying to do with this channel, I'm trying to pass my passion and my love for what I do on to you. So that you love your art as much as I do. And I did this job um, with no intention of kind of selling and all of that side of it. I did it because I loved it. And that's difficult when real life comes in to kick you in the ass. So that's why I'm doing this signed artwork and the signed books to so that you don't have to pay £10,000 for a book. You can kind of let's draw some of the ghosts in the background there. Maybe that's what he's looking at. So that you can pick up these books on eBay, and hopefully you'll get them at a kind of like a bargain price, as long as you love them and care for them. I'll be over the moon. But you can see that I've taken the time here to illustrate the cover. So when you open that book, you have this illustration there waiting for you. A couple of the ghosts peeking their nosy faces in. And then the ghosts in the story are quite nosy. They're always kind of popping in to see what he's up to, see what he's doing. Especially if they think that he's going to like pop the question or something like that to the ghost. Zirconia is the name of the ghost. And this he wears like a rugby shirt, and the rugby shirt was something very similar to what I used to wear in the early days when I was working in London. I think where it actually came from was that I had gone to a laundrette to do my clothes, and when I came back I had an extra shirt, and it was this rugby shirt, and it was very thick and really not my thing, really not the type of thing. I was very kind of colourful, but at the time it was winter, and this very thick rugby shirt was a godsend, and so I wore it a lot, and that kind of came into my mind when I was doing the book, and I thought it would be a great addition for the character. So there you go. So there you are. That's one of the things that will appear this week, and I'm really hoping that out of those 30,000 people that follow me, those 30,000 people that watch the channel, I'm hoping that 28,000 of them will come out and buy something. So there you go. I will touch up that eye. I will do it on camera so you see that I have done it. And I'm thinking about maybe doing some kind of like, this is an unauthentic. You know, you sometimes get these kind of people. I always kind of laugh a little bit at it. It's so kind of silly, really. You turn up with a Rembrandt painting and they say, "Oh, have you got any letters of authentication?" It's like, it's Rembrandt. You know. What was I? Oh yeah, I was going to do just touch out that. There you go. There's an added part to the story of this. In fact, here's a good idea. While I'm thinking of it, I will actually do a letter of authentication. Let's just move that over there. Right, I don't know what these type of things look like. In fact, I've got a lovely print, like a stamp. Oh, there it is. Now check this out. This was a gift from a friend of mine. I have to check which way up my face is. Okay, it's that way. And what I will do is I will stamp down in the corner. There you go. There you go. How cool is that? That kind of makes it like so kind of official, doesn't it? I drew Norman, I drew Norman. Holding a book. Now, please, as you see me writing, you will understand that I'm very kind of, I'll put big letters in the middle of sentences, and you know, if I write the word Norman is holding, holding will have a capital letter or 3 capital letters. No reason, it's just some kind of trick of the brain that I have. Holding a book. Best book ever. There you go, I've done it there. I've done it with two capital E's in the word ever. In fact, I've just done a capital R. Yeah, just forgive me, okay. I drew Norman holding a book. Best book ever is the slogan on it. Love. Love. And it will be signed as well. It'll be stamped as well, which will be make it all kind of very official. How lovely is that? I should have thought about that earlier. It was a gift from a lovely friend of mine. And they did it without me even knowing about it. They kind of took a photo. It's still up there. It was kind of like a Halloween photo where I've got black kind of running down one face. I had a very white face. And I'll do a big kind of arrow so you know. So there you go. That will go along with the book, so you have your letter of authentication. There you go. So yeah, maybe I'll do that with everything. Maybe I'll do that with all the sales that go through, all the art prints that will go through, all the book signing that go through. Maybe I will do something like that, so you've got a letter with it. And I'll even do the little stamp on it. It would just be an extra little bit for you. So there you go. That is an idea of what you will be getting when I put these things together. I think it's a lovely idea. I do. I do know that if Ronald Searle had done a drawing in a book and done a letter for me, I would have been over the moon. My life would have been complete. So have a fantastic day. Keep drawing, keep loving life, and I hope you will join me in this auction, and all 30,000 people will come and put your pennies into this auction and help me through this time. So thank you very much. I love you all. You're all amazing. keep supporting the channel, keep hitting that subscribe button, keep watching the videos, keep getting my numbers up, and then we can monetize the channel, which is the whole goal at this point, is to, you know, for every month to make £3 or something, you know. So thank you very much. I'll see you back here for more drawings very, very, very soon. Thank you very much, and have a beautiful day. See you.